Picture endless grey, sea and sky fused, a Viking longship adrift in the North Atlantic winter. Waves crash like icy mountains, the wind howls, and the cold is so deep it can kill in minutes. This was the reality for Viking sailors. No cabins, no shelter, just an open deck and the relentless Arctic cold. Yet they sailed on, pushing from Scandinavia to North America in ships that offered almost no protection. Their greatest enemy wasn't storms or monsters, but the cold itself. Surviving meant outsmarting the elements with wool, leather, and sheer willpower. How did they keep hypothermia at bay for weeks at sea? Their survival secrets are a masterclass in human ingenuity. These mariners turned their bodies and simple materials into powerful tools for warmth. Their strategies hold lessons for us today, proof that ancient wisdom can conquer even the harshest environments. Let's step aboard that icy longship and uncover how the Vikings survived the frozen abyss without fire. The journey begins now. On land, fire means life, but on a Viking longship, fire was forbidden, a deadly risk. The ships were wooden, coated in flammable tar and animal fat. One spark and the vessel would become an inferno. Archaeologists have found no evidence of hearths or fireboxes on Viking ships, no safe way to use fire at sea. Even a small contained fire was a desperate gamble. A rolling ember could doom the entire crew. Faced with a choice between freezing or burning, Vikings chose the cold. This forced them to develop survival strategies that didn't rely on external heat. They had to generate and conserve their own warmth, turning clothing and bodies into fortresses against the cold. Their solution: master the art of conserving heat, not creating it. Every voyage was a test of ingenuity, no fire, just human resilience. The Vikings' answer to the cold was revolutionary. Their survival depended on what they wore, how they worked together, and how they used every resource on board. Fire was a death sentence. Adaptation was their lifeline. This is how they endured. The Vikings' first defense against the cold? Their clothing. Wool was their secret weapon, lanolin-rich, water-resistant, and insulating even when wet. Layering was key: a linen or fine wool base, thick woolen tunics, and a heavy cloak, sometimes lined with fur. Each layer trapped air, building a barrier against the cold. Woolen trousers, socks, and leather shoes, insulated with hay or moss, kept extremities warm. Mittens, not gloves, kept fingers together for shared warmth. At night they'd sew tunic sleeves shut and pull their arms inside, sealing in heat. Their clothing was a self-contained heating system, simple, effective, and essential for survival. Against the North Atlantic, wool was their armour. Viking textiles were feats of engineering, not just tradition. Women wove dense, fulled wool called wadmal, thick, wind-resistant, and water-repellent. Experiments show layered Viking wool keeps core temperatures stable, even when soaked. Clothes were tailored for a snug fit, minimizing heat loss and allowing movement. Toggles and brooches let them adjust layers as needed. Every stitch had purpose, function over fashion. Textile knowledge was as vital as weapon-making. The loom was as important as the sword. Without expertly crafted wool, Viking voyages would have been impossible. The weaver's thread was the sailor's lifeline. Even the best clothing has limits. When the cold bit hardest, Vikings turned to each other. Huddling together, they shared body heat, creating a microclimate warmer than the frigid air. Crews of 30 to 60 men would pack tightly in the ship's centre, minimizing exposure. They rotated positions, ensuring everyone got time in the warmer middle. This wasn't just comfort, it was calculated survival, mirroring strategies seen in nature. Mutual reliance was essential, the group's warmth meant life for all. Camaraderie and trust grew from this shared struggle. The warmth was physical and psychological, a shield against fear and despair. The human furnace was fueled by more than metabolism, it was powered by unity. In the Viking world, survival was a team effort. Sleep was dangerous in the cold, but the Vikings had a solution: the communal hudfat. This massive hide covering, made from cow or seal skins, acted as a waterproof, windproof blanket for the whole crew. At night, men huddled close, cloaks wrapped tight, with the hudfat pulled over all, trapping warmth and blocking wind. Archaeological finds and sagas confirm these shared coverings. Modern tests show a group under a hudfat can sleep safely even near freezing. Sleeping on sea chests or raised oars kept them off the cold, wet deck. Every item on board was repurposed for survival. The hudfat, layered wool and huddling formed a three-part system for warmth and rest. Ingenious, simple, and life-saving. No fire meant no hot meals, so what fueled Viking bodies? Their diet was preserved, high energy, and ready to eat dried cod, stockfish, wind-dried mutton, and hard barley or rye biscuits. Skyr, a thick fermented dairy, provided protein and variety. Water was precious, carried in barrels or leather bags. Weak beer or ale was safer to drink and added calories. Dried foods were lightweight, durable, and packed with nutrients. Meals were cold, but they kept the crew strong enough to row and survive. Every bite was calculated for energy and endurance. The Viking larder was a triumph of preservation and planning. Food was fuel for the human furnace. The Vikings' greatest tool, the woolen sail, became a life-saving tent. When moored or in rough weather, the sail was lowered, draped over a ridgepole, and tied to the ship's sides, forming a massive A-frame shelter. Made of heavy, lanolin-rich wool, the sail was wind and water-resistant. Inside, the crew was shielded from wind and rain, with body heat warming the air. It wasn't cosy, but it was dry and several degrees warmer than outside. The sail tent let the crew rest, eat, and recover energy. Every object had multiple uses. Adaptation was survival. The ship itself became a mobile, self-sufficient habitat. Viking survival at sea proves that the simplest solutions are often the best. Layered wool, communal warmth, and creative improvisation let them conquer the North Atlantic without fire or modern gear. Their lessons endure. Layer up, stay dry, share warmth, and use every tool to its fullest. Community and adaptability were their greatest assets. These principles are as relevant today as they were 1,000 years ago. The Vikings thrived by working with nature, not against it. Their story is a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. With knowledge and cooperation, even the harshest challenges can be overcome. The wisdom of the Vikings echoes through time, reminding us to look for simple, effective solutions. The past is full of survival secrets, waiting to be rediscovered.